So basically, they're going to be starting a new arc in Thor.
Will it be an arc or will it be permanent?
Well, who knows? But it's an arc one way or another, at the very least. And we don't know how yet, but somehow, current Thor,
Donald Blake.
Yeah, Donald Blake is going to drop the hammer, and someone else is going to pick it up, and it's going to be a woman.
Well, it sounds like they're going to say that he's no longer fit to hold it. He's no longer something else that happens to his character that he's
not
noble anymore.
Yeah, so no one knows. So, they're going to lose the hammer. Now, here's the thing. If people don't understand a certain bit of history about Thor, at one point in time, Thor was a character, and Thor embodied the powers and everything of Thor. At one point, he upset Odin, and Odin, therefore, basically stored everything in Mjolnir, his hammer.
The hammer. That only Thor could pick up.
And the line is, it's something along the lines of, those who can pick up the hammer will wield the power.
If he be worthy.
If he be worthy. So anyone can technically be Thor. And I think this is very interesting for a number of reasons. You still don't have, now I know we just got past the Batgirl redesign, but you still don't have a lot of, because we've discussed this, AAA, top tier comic characters that are women out there, pushing the medium. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see what Thor as a woman does to the storyline. I want to see the interaction between Avengers members and
Captain
stuff like
America.
that. Yeah, I want to see how this goes over. And I personally think it's a good idea. I think the one promo image, there's two, but one of the promo images where she's just standing there looks amazing. Now, she still has fucking breast armor, but it's minimal. It's minimal.
Well, Thor has armor, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, no, but what I'm talking about is boob armor, which doesn't make any sense and would literally kill you.
Okay, well, they always got to give these heroes big breasts, and when you see...
No, but what I'm saying is this one's actually fairly downplayed.
It's actually downplayed?
Yeah, it's fairly downplayed.
I was going to say, when you see these female athletes, the ones that are really in shape, the big boxers, MMA, they don't have huge boobs. Right. They have smaller boobs because they're in shape. But whatever. The
design looks good, and I'm actually excited to read it. This is something that I will pick up 3 issues of, and if I like it, I will continue reading it. I can't remember who, was it head of Marvel or head of the person writing the story, was already received death threats and wishes of cancer.
Oh, wishes of cancer.
Wishes of cancer and other such.
Wish cancer.
Yeah, other such nice things. And I realize that they're changing things around, but here's what's interesting to me. Right now, we have two hobbies. We have video games and we have comics, and they're both trying to be more inclusive. And if you look at them side by side, comics is doing a much better job of transitioning into this smoothly.
Sure. Okay, so in the past, there's been that Beta Ray Bill, I think it was his name. He was I looked like an alien dinosaur, whatever he was. I remember. Actually, I think I had. No, that's in my the top Marvel stories ever told. That issue is in there about how, yes, he falls from grace, Thor, and for whatever reason, Odin looks down upon him and he loses the power for a while. That was one of the instances. From that perspective, that's fine. We all know nothing in Marvel Comics is permanent. Nothing is.
No.
And this is why I don't read Marvel Comics. After they killed off Captain America in such a punk-ass way, I was pissed off. Oh. After they portrayed shit like Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man being total assholes in the Civil War, totally against character type, having Spider-Man reveal his secret identity to the world, which he would never, ever do under any circumstances. And of course, they retconned that because they realized that was freaking stupid. Stuff like that. Killing off Johnny Storm and then bringing him back within a few years.
A few years?
Was it a few years?
Dude, it wasn't even... I don't even think it was a few years. I think it was a few months.
It's all meaningless. So... This is interesting as an experiment to see if people probably buy the first few issues.
Well, that's it.
But will they stick around for the year? Because obviously people want the Thor they've known for 50 years.
But here's the cool thing, and this is what I'm hoping that they're not doing, and I don't get the impression that they are. This is them trying to shake things up without relying on the shitty, what we've already
kill off
characters thing, and then just bringing them back. No, what we're going to do is we're going to find a way probably to disgrace Thor again, and then find a way to have right, and then Yeah, who knows? But at least we're not fucking shooting Thor in the head, and
Sure. I will say this though, in terms of diversifying and pushing female heroes forward, to me this is not a good way of doing it. If you want to say this is a change for Thor and it's controversial, dramatic, that's fine. But to just put the female superhero and the male character's sort of body persona, that to me, that doesn't do anything for sort of diversification. That's that's like having like Batgirl or Spider-Woman, or you know what I mean? It's not a whole new character that's gonna live and breathe with its own powers on her own origin. To me, it's a cheap trick. From that perspective, I still think it's interesting, but I'm not like rah, this is girl power, because to me it's like
no, because I don't think it is either, and that's why I like what they're doing.
That's why you do like it.
That's why I do.
You're not following the angle of this is good for female heroes.
Well, no, I think it is, but they're doing it in a way that is not so obviously pushed. It's not. Okay. They're not throwing out a new female superhero with her own. They're trying. What I think. I mean, just from looking at it, they have.
But it's not. But it's not a new hero though. That's the thing.
I know it's not.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're working a woman into a very interesting and important role through a potentially very interesting story. I think that's almost better.
Sure. So that's your perspective. That's good. We'll see what happens. It depends on how it's written. If it's written like shit, it's going to be shit.
Well, that's any comic.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you said, it's interesting that when Captain America, if he's going to get used to it, all of a sudden he knows Thor for how many years, and all of a sudden it's a woman. But in theory, it's the same character, at least the same nobility, but it's not the same person.
Yeah.
So he has to respect it, but now he has to get used to a woman being it. And he's an old-fashioned guy from the from World War II era. Is he going to adjust right away? Is Thor going to be able to not Thor. Tony Stark, he's a womanizer. Is he going to be able to see Thor as an equal, or else is he going to see her as someone below him? You know what I mean? That's an interesting part.
Right.
Of it,
I'd rather see this sort of thing shaken up. I'd rather see these sorts of questions come to light through something that's interesting like this, like finding a new person who's worthy of holding the hammer.
Sure.
I think that's a very good thing.
So we'll see how long it lasts. I give it 2 years. I give it right before that Thor 3 comes out, which will probably be like 2 years.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? It depends on how popular. I give it 2 trades. I mean, any major shakeup like this can get 12 to 24 issues out of it.
Unless it's really popular, then they'll find a way to have both exist, which doesn't make any sense. Then they put themselves in a hole.
Then I'm not going to like it, because then it is going to be Thor and She-Thor, and then no, but that's what I don't want. That's why I like this.
But this is the problem about having a character like this become the female version. They've written themselves into a corner before they know how to get out of it. Because you can't have 2 Mjolnir hammers. You can't.
No, you can't. You can't. And I also don't. Marvel's not going to find a tasteful way to end this. But I would. I would just love for her to like. I'd love for there to
She'll turn evil and lose the hammer.
I'd love for there to be a good arc where she does something and she's happy with it. And that, I mean, if they're gonna bring old Thor back, then the hammer goes down and she fades out unless they need something. They don't need to. I don't like I already said. I don't want that dichotomy. I don't want Thor and She-Thor. I want there to be Thor, and if this works, then let them run with it as long as they're going to. And if it's not going to work, or they're going to bring old Thor back, you can even keep her in the story, but work her out in a decent way.
I guess it also depends if she's a human, if she's an Asgardian. Like, we'll see where she comes from.
Yeah.
If she's an alien. All right, so it might be interesting. I'm gonna actually read a comic or two after, even though I swore off Marvel after killing off Captain America.
Yeah, so did Vonnie, and Vonnie would give you a big hug right now. But even Vonnie went back to Marvel for.
She didn't like that either. I saw that issue.
You've never talked to Vonnie about that?
No, I never did, because I just saw the.
Oh no, Vonnie wanted to kill Ed Brubaker.
I saw the screen caps of him online actually showing the dead body with the eyes rolled back in the head. I felt sick to my stomach. I felt absolutely sick to my stomach.
You and I are having the same conversation Vonnie have had.
All right, well, Vonnie's not in the chat now, but she'll listen to this and want to hug
yeah.
it in, because
yeah,
absolute bullshit. Anyway, all right, Thor as a female, we'll see what happens. I think it's interesting, and like we said, it's not just killing off a character that you're gonna bring back in a year. So.
Right, it's not just killing off a character, and it's not just taking Spider-Man and saying she's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
no, we've got something different and neat here.